Are we ready? Everybody, we're ready? Welcome to another class, Al-Lebanon, Avenue S, corner of East 9th. Every Wednesday night, welcome to J-Root viewers and listeners, and Torah Anytime viewers and listeners. We are studying Parashat Bishalach Le'elu Nishmat Hayim Yehuda Ben Tere Ruach Hashem Tinechenu Began Eden. The Pasuk says, Vayomer Adonai El Moshe Hineni Mamtir Lachem Lechem Min HaShamayim. Before Hashem brings down the famous man, the manna in the desert, Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, go tell Bnei Israel, I will make it rain bread from the heavens. And the nation will go out and choose and pick up this man from wherever. As we know, if he was a righteous person, he used to come to his doorstep. If he was not such a righteous person, he had to go out a little bit. If he was a wicked person, he had to go all the way out of town. And the nation will go out and choose every single day. Debar yom beyomo. Every day anew, a fresh portion of man. Lema'an anasenu hayelech betorati imlo. Why is Hashem bringing down bread from the heavens? Because Hashem is testing us through the manna. Testing us through the man. Hayelech betorati imlo. Will they keep my commandments or not? The Hidushei Harim of Gur asks a very powerful question. What does the man have to do with keeping the Torah? First of all, the Torah wasn't given. The Torah is only given next week's parasha, Parashat Yitro. In this week's parasha, we don't have any commandments other than 3 commandments which were given in Marah. But he asks the question, what does it have to do? I want to test Bnei Israel through the man, will they keep my commandments or not? So he says in the Gemara, Masechet Yoma, Ayin He Amud Bet, it says over there in the Gemara that even though the man was a crystal ball, it was a white crystal ball, it's a whitish crystalline ball, like transparent, even though it was that, it used to change to any flavor you wanted. Not only, we'll see exactly what the rabbis say, not only did it change in flavor to anything you wanted, even in appearance, it changed to anything you wanted. You wanted a steak, it changed to a steak. You want a piece of chicken, it changed to a piece of chicken. Any flavor, any taste you wanted in the world, all you have to do is think, all you have to do is have kavanah, what you wanted it to taste like, and that's exactly what it tasted like. Rashi in Bamidbar, in Parashat Be'alotecha. Now the Jews were complaining that the man used to taste like anything they wanted, other than watermelon, squash, onions, garlic. And Rashi says, why did the man not taste like this flavor, like these flavors? Because these flavors are not good for a pregnant lady. But the rabbis want to take out from here that not only is the flavor not good for a pregnant lady, the texture of these vegetables is not good for a pregnant lady. From here, the rabbis want to prove that the man, not only did it change in flavor, it also changed in appearance. By this Rashi that says that the texture was not good for pregnant ladies, from here we learn that the man changed in appearance to a watermelon, to squash, onions, garlic, and so forth. I saw in Rav Chaim Kanievsky's Sefer, Ta'amad Dekra, he says, it depended on what you thought the man would taste like, that's what the beracha would be. He says, here's the source if you want to see it. He says, כשטעמו במן טעם לחם, בירכו ברכת המזון. וכשטעמו טעם פירות, בירכו בורא נפשות. Now even though the beginning beracha was a universal beracha, hamamtir lechem min hashamayim, the one who brings down bread from the heavens, but the beracha achrona, what was the beracha achrona? So it depends. If your kavanah was to eat bread, and you ate enough bread, it would be b'kat hamazon. If you ate perot, it would be borei nefashot. As today, any fruit or vegetable that you eat other than the shib'ah, meaning 7 species of Eretz Israel, you say, but in nefashot, right? Many people think that if I eat an orange or an apple, I say, but ala eitz ve'al perei eitz. No. That's a very big mistake. You only say ala eitz ve'al perei eitz. I know it's not a halakha class, but you only say ala eitz ve'al perei eitz if you eat either figs or grapes or olives or pomegranate or, what's the last time? Dates, right? That's the only one. So now, according to what we said until now, the man tasted like anything you wanted. It changed appearance to anything you wanted. Beautiful. So what's wrong with that? Today I'm in the mood to eat a salad with salt and pepper and olive oil. That's the seasoning I want. The next day I want to have a little bit tangy. The next day I want it to be a little bit jalapeno. The next day I want it to be with ranch dressing. So meaning it was an unlimited choice, unlimited option of exactly what the man was to taste like or not. The choices are unlimited. That's exactly what the Hidushei Harim says. The Hidushei Harim says that exactly was the test. We said, what's the test of the man, whether you're going to keep the Torah or not? He says the biggest test of the man was, where is your head at? Today when you pick up the man, is your kavanah in the man that I'm going to eat the man to have strength to worship Hashem, to learn Torah? Or is your kavanah in the man, I want it to taste like a hamburger? That's meaning now it's in your hands. The man is in your hands. Will you use it now to hayelech betorati? Will you use it to have strength to learn Torah? Or are you busy all day thinking of new flavors? Imagine this. If you were able to think of any flavor, meaning even if it wasn't out on the market, you could still eat it. Whatever you want, something that, you could blend seasonings and blend olive oil and dressings all in your head. All in kavanah. So the Hafiz Hayim says something beautiful. He says, what if I don't have kavanah? What if I just pick up the man, make a barakah on it?
Has no flavor.
And he says, has no flavor. He says, oh, where your head's at. Whatever you think, that's where you are. The Baal Hashem Tov says, wherever you think, that's exactly where you are. How do we know this? Because Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, before Moshe Rabbeinu passed away, go up to the mountain and I'll show you all of Eretz Israel. I'll show you all the land of Israel. So what was Hashem doing? Teasing Moshe Rabbeinu? He says, no. He says, where you think you are, that's exactly where you are. I could be sitting in my living room and imagine myself sitting on the beach in Cancun with a Gemara, open Gemara. That's exactly where you are, the Baal Shem Tov says. That's exactly where you're going to be. If that's where you think you're going to be, that's exactly where you are at this point. So that's what it means. How are you? So that's what it means. Lema'an anasenu. I want to test the Jewish people. Now you have this man in the palm of your hands. You're going to pick it up, make it beracha. What are you thinking about at this second? Are you thinking about the new flavor, exotic flavor that you still didn't try? Or are you thinking about, I need it now just to worship Hashem? I know I can't survive without eating, so I have to eat. But however, what am I eating for? Like the famous saying goes, do you eat to live or do you live to eat? It's a very fine line. Many people, unfortunately, don't know why they're eating. They know they have to eat. What are we eating? How do you tell, by the way, how do you tell if a person is eating to live or living to eat? Depends on what's on his plate. If he's making a plate, let's say at the buffet in the weddings, right? Or smorgasbords, if he makes a plate piled up all the way up, this guy only came, he has no intention of dancing with the hatan or kala, right? Or maybe he needs the energy eating now to go dance. But again, depends on the plate. If you see him piling up all the way up and he's eating, he's not thinking of the hatan or the kala, he's thinking about the filet mignon in front of him on his plate. However, if you see a guy, he only eats a little bit sushi, or a little bit vegetables, either one of two things. Either he's mefakfek in the hashkaha, either he doesn't trust the hashkaha 100%, or he really doesn't need so much to eat. He only eats a little bit. Why? Because I came to the wedding here. I came to the wedding to be mesameh hatan v'kala. That's why we explained many times. The Baal Shem Tov says, this olam is like a big wedding. What do you do at a wedding? The main thing in a wedding is mesameh hatan v'kala. We're here in a wedding. This olam, this world is a wedding. Your main focus is to be mesameh Hashem and the Shekhinah. That's hatan v'kala. That's why you should come to the wedding. Or do you go to the wedding to fill up on food? But again, it's a very thin line. That's what the Hidushei Harim says. The Hidushei Harim says I want to test the Jews. I want to see exactly what are they doing with this man. Meaning you can't have your cake and eat it too. I mean, you can, but the saying goes, you can't have your cake and eat it too. What exactly that means, I don't know, but that's the saying. Meaning, I can't say to myself, I want to stay up all night. It's something beautiful. It says, the Pidgam, listen to the Pidgam. הפתגם הידוע שהאדם היה רוצה לדעת את כל התורה כולה בלילה אחד וגם בלילה הזה להספיק לישון. I want to know to study the whole Torah tonight, but I also want to sleep tonight. It's either one or two things. You can't have it both ways. You have to choose one way. Again, what are you doing with this man? You're eating it to survive? Or are you surviving, are you living to see exactly the new flavors in the man? Rav Yaakov Galinsky, Zecher Sadiq V'Kadosh Bracha, was once by the stipler, and into the stipler's house, or into the stipler's room, walks in his niece. So she asks him, his granddaughter, she asks him, Saba, what did she say? Does this have a heksher or not? Is this kosher to eat or not? So he looks at it, it's kosher. So the stipler Rebbe looks at Rav Yaakov Galinsky, says, they don't ask anymore whether I'm allowed to eat it or not. They only say whether it's kosher or not. Meaning, what's the difference? Meaning, not everything that's kosher should you eat. Again, that's exactly what we're saying. Not just because it's available to you, you should do it. The Ramban calls this Nabal Birshut HaTorah. By the way, it was today's Hok. If anybody learns Hok L'Yisrael, today's Hok L'Yisrael. It's asur to be Nabal Birshut HaTorah. Just because it's okay doesn't mean I should do it. Right? There's certain places we shouldn't go to. Certain vacation spots we shouldn't go to. Right? But there's nothing wrong with it. Everything's sini'ut over there. I'm not going to say anything. I know. Just because it's okay doesn't mean you should go to it. You should know better. That's the point of the man. Any flavor you wanted, but we want to see exactly, do you really want the flavor of the man, or do you want the flavor of the Torah? Is your head focused on the man, on the food all day, or is your head focused on the Torah? You know, everybody knows the famous saying, Oheb kesef, lo yisba' kesef. One who loves money will never be satisfied with money, meaning he always wants more money. But the same people who know this line forget the other line. Oheb mitzvot, lo yisba' mitzvot. The Jews in this week's parasha were picking up all the loot in Yam Suf. When the Egyptians drowned, all the money went on the shore, and now the Jews are picking up all the money. What is Moshe Rabbeinu doing at this time? He has Atzmot Yosef with him. He has the bones of Yosef. Moshe Rabbeinu, take the coffin of Yosef, put it down, go enjoy the riches. What are you doing? Everybody's collecting money, and you're carrying the Atzmot Yosef, because there's a difference between Moshe Rabbeinu and Am Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu is Oheb mitzvot, lo yisba' mitzvot. What more can I do when it comes to serving God? What more can I do? What more mitzvot can I accomplish? What more mitzvot can I put on my back? Am Yisrael, we'll see exactly, there were many factions in Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael were too busy bizat hayam. And you know what ended up happening with all that money? What ended up happening with that money, Rabotai? They used it for the Eigel. So I mean, where was their head? Their head was only in the money. Their head was only in the flavors of the man. But Moshe Rabbeinu's head is not in the flavors of the man. What mitzvah can I do? How can I use this opportunity right now to serve God? You're presented with the opportunity in life. What are you going to do with this opportunity? To sanctify God's name, or God forbid desecrate God's name? It's all in your hands. Behira Hafshit, the Rambam calls it, we'll never understand the difference between free will and predetermination. This is a question nobody understands. And the Rambam says, a person that says, I have the answer, you could cross him off your list. He doesn't have the answer. Nobody has the answer. So, but again, it's in your hands. Hashem doesn't force you to choose either way. It's in your hands. The Baal Shem Tov, as you can see, we're quoting a lot of the Baal Shem Tov because today, as you know, marks the 70th year of the Rebbe of Lubavitch's movement, right? Even though he's not with us today, and he's the movement of Chabad, but the Chabad movement started from the Baal Shem Tov, right? From Baal Shem Tov, then it went to Magid Memezrich, then it went to the Admor HaZaken Baal Tanya, and there all the way down to the Baal Shem, started from the Baal Shem Tov all the way down to the Lubavitch. So you'll pardon me, but I'll quote the Baal Shem Tov a lot tonight, God willing. The Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh says, there's a pasuk that we say every day, and we say it in Alenu Shabeach, Bashamayim mima'al, ve'al ha'aretz mitahat. Whatever's in the sky above, and whatever's in the land below. So he says, what's the point of this pasuk? He says, when you look at people, and you see that they're greater than you, and they're serving God greater than you, and they're learning more Torah greater than you, and they're above you, you should always strive to be above like them. However, if you see people in this world, that they're very far away, as they say from Yiddishkeit, or very far away from Torah and mitzvot, and doing the exact opposite of person number one, ba'aretz mitahat. Run away from them, and see exactly what they're doing, meaning, how low they could stoop, how low they could reach when they're doing aberot. That's one explanation. The other explanation is, it depends on ruhniyut and gashmiyut. By ruhaniyut, we mean spiritual. When you look at a person, you always have to strive to be more spiritual than them, like we said. But when it comes to materialistic, right, always be happy with what you have. Why? Ala aretz mitaha. There's always someone that has less than you. Ala aretz mitaha. There is always someone in the world that has less than you. Don't complain. Now let's take this explanation and build it in to what we're saying until now. The Rabbeinu Yonah in Masechet Abot Perek Bet Mishnah Zayin, he says, how can a person fulfill this pasuk? Bashamayim mima'al ve'ala aretz mitahat. Heaven above and the land below. He says, Ter'eh atzmecha ki'ilu bedor chachmei ha-Talmud ata. Picture yourself, imagine yourself that I live amongst the rabbis that authored the Mishnah and the Gemara. Ve'immahem b'makom echad. I live with them. Ve'gam im tasig lema'alatam. And even if you strive to be on their level, tahshob ki'ilu ata omed im ha-nebi'im. Let's say you live with them and you reach their level. Picture yourself now that you are living with the prophets on a higher level. Ve'im Moshe Rabbeinu alav shalom. Umatai tasig lechokhmatam. Meaning always strive to do more. Always look at a person that's on a higher level than you. Be jealous of who? Don't be jealous of the person that today made his riches. Be jealous of the person that learns Torah more than you, that's on a higher level than you, that runs to class, that learns, that goes to class more than you, that does mitzvot more than you. Moshe Rabbeinu we have, and we have Am Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu is the one that's always striving above. And can we get a higher level than Moshe Rabbeinu? The Rambam says a person can strive to be like Moshe Rabbeinu, but you'll never be like Moshe Rabbeinu. There's only one Moshe. So strive to be above. But Am Yisrael, what are they too busy with? With the flavors of the man. They're too busy with the booty that's coming out of Kriyat Yam Suf. That's what it means, Bashamayim mima'al. And as we said, Va'ala aretz mitahat. But when it comes to materialistic things, always look at the people who have less than you. And if they have less than you, then there's nothing to be jealous. Because there's no point for jealousy in the world anymore. There's no room for jealousy anymore in the world. Because you won't be jealous of the guy that has less than you, obviously not. And you won't be jealous of the guy that has more than you. You'll be happy with what you have. Because nobody knows what the other person really have. Whether he's on Bashamayim Mima'al or Ala Aretz Mitachat. There's a Gemara, you all know, in Masechet Nedarim, Daf Nun. Rabbi Akiba, before he was a famous Rabbi Akiba, he was a very poor person. Him and his wife Rahel used to sleep in the barn every night. And he used to pick hay out of her hair. That's how poor they were. They had no pillows. They used to use the hay, fashion it as a pillow and sleep on it. And he used to pick hair out of her, hay out of the locks of her hair. And he used to always tell her, God willing, one day we'll have so much money, I'll buy you Yerushalayim Shel Zahab. I'll buy you Jerusalem of gold. Now what was that? The rabbis say it was a necklace, a very beautiful necklace made out of gold with a picture of Yerushalayim on it. That's what he tells his wife. Knock on the door. Who is it? Eliyahu Nabi. Now they don't know it's Eliyahu Nabi. Eliyahu Nabi tells them, my wife just gave birth and we have to put the baby. We have to make some sort of stroller for him or bassinet or something for them to sleep on, for the baby to sleep on. Can you lend me some hay? Lend me some straw, something for the baby? So they say, of course. They give him some straw, some hay, and he closes the door. Rabbi Akiba turns to his wife and he tells his wife, see how lucky we are? He doesn't even have straw. He doesn't even have hay. We have straw. What? Are you serious, Rabbi Akiba? Yes, you know why? He wasn't thinking about, when am I going to have a fancy house right now? If God gives it to me, fine. I'm striving to be b'shamayim ma'al, what's above me. You know why? Because I see people under me. I see people below me. They don't have. So what am I striving for in this life? But the question is, now it's Eliyahu Nabi, right? Is there anything Eliyahu Nabi cannot do? Of course not. Why doesn't Eliyahu Nabi say, I see you live in poverty, snap of the finger, that's it. Change their whole house from straw and hay to having fancy Italian marble and Italian tile, and that's it. Make them what to do. Why? Why doesn't he do that, Eliyahu Nabi? Why does he ask them for straw? The answer is, yes, maybe if Eliyahu Nabi would have changed everything to luxury, we would have missed out on a person called Rabbi Akiba. The only way he was Rabbi Akiba because he strived for more, because he had nothing. If a person has a lot, we actually touched on this last night in the Tu Bishvat class. If a person has everything going for him, then it's very hard for him to cling to God. Because why do I need God? Why do I need Hashem? What's missing in my life? But when a person doesn't have anything, or he needs God, he needs to ask Hashem. He has to pray. His kavanah and tefillah is so different. Just look at a person that needs something. Look at his tefillah, and look at a person that doesn't need anything. He just opens the book and just flips the pages, and it's as if he's praying, and he can't wait until he leaves the tefillah and he goes back home. That's the difference between a person that needs Hashem and a person that doesn't need Hashem. That's the difference between Bashamayim min ma'al va'ala aras mitahat. Strive Bashamayim min ma'al. Strive for spirituality, always up and up. But when it comes to materialistic, don't strive for up and up. See what's below you. When you see who's below you, you'll be happy. The Sefer HaYashar of Rabbeinu Tam, he says, Ikar mikol hamidot sheyeh le'adam hi ha'emunah ve'bitachon. Out of all the traits that a person can have, wonderful traits, a person could be a person that gives a lot of tzedakah, learning a lot of Torah, visiting the sick people. They're beautiful traits. He says the most important trait is emunah and bitachon, is having emunah in Hashem and trusting in Hashem. Sheyamin be'emunah shelema shehaborei yitbarach shemo hu hamanhig ve'hamashgiach bechol et. Hashem is the mashgiach, which means he's the watcher. He's the one running the show. Every second, ubchol rega, every minute, venoten lechol adam de mahsoro, and he gives everyone what they need. Ve'en shum adam yachol laga'at bema sheyesh lecha. No one can touch what you have. Why do I bring you this? Because a person can say to himself, times are rough right now. You want me to strive to be spiritual? You want me to run to classes? I think the better option is to run to make more money. I think the better option is to stay up at nights seeing what kind of new gadget is out there, or whatever new invention is out there, or what websites I can go to. Somebody was telling me the other day that he doesn't know what to do. His whole business depended on Alibaba, but because now with the whole China crisis, he doesn't know what to do. Now he has to find new vendors, and he has to talk to new people, and he has to stay up late at night. So people could think that you want me to strive for spirituality, you want me to learn more Torah. Do you see the situation I'm in? Do you see what's going on in my life? Do you see the problems that I have? Just come to my house and see the way my wife deals with me. Look at the way my wife talks to me. Look at the way my kids talk to me. And you want to tell me about spirituality? You want to tell me about learning Torah? But if we understand what the Rabbeinu Tam is saying over here in the Sefer Yashar, there's no worry. Because if you really believe deep down, it's all about emunah. It's true that we can flip this whole class every Wednesday night, and I can bring you beautiful commentaries and beautiful hidushim and very esoteric ideas, something beyond you and me. I can bring it. Meaning I have the means. It's not my stuff. It's all available. right? Otzar Chokhmah, Hebrew, because it's all there. The Sefarim are all there. I can bring them and give a class on that. But in the end of the day, what are we learning from that? What are we learning from esoteric topics or sodot? What are we learning from it? What are we taking? How is that going to help us in our life? That's why if you noticed, all the classes are built on emunah, because that's what we need, especially nowadays. If a Jewish person doesn't have emunah, he cannot survive. He cannot live. ומה שקצוב לך מן השמיים תקבל בלי עמל וטורח לא פחות ולא יותר. When Moshe Rabbeinu has the coffin of Yosef and he's carrying around everywhere he goes. By the way, you know what happened to Moshe Rabbeinu? He was the wealthiest person in history. You know how? From the sapphire. Pesol lecha. The second set of tablets, he fashioned them. And after he fashioned them and he engraved them, all the remaining stone, he took it. Because he wasn't worried about bizat hayam. You understand where I'm going with this? He wasn't worried about taking the loot of Yam Suf when the sea split. Why? Because he knows, if I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it. If I don't need it, I don't need it. What am I busy running after money for? He says, what you're going to get, you're going to get it. Nobody's going to touch it. Not 1 penny more, not 1 penny less. And if you really understand this concept of emunah, and God provides for you your sustenance, וזה תביא אותך בנקל לקיים מצוות ואהבת לרעך כמוך כי לא יקנא אדם בחברו. If you really believe that what's owed to you, you will get, not 1 penny less, not 1 penny more, you'll fulfill this pasuk to love your neighbor like you love yourself, 100%. You know why? Why should I be jealous of my neighbor next door to me that he just got a brand new lawnmower? Does anybody use lawnmowers anymore? In Brooklyn, nobody uses lawnmowers, right? Maybe in Florida or maybe in New Jersey. Nobody uses lawnmowers in Brooklyn. But I don't have to be jealous of my neighbor that got the newest car. You know why? Because if God didn't give it to me, that means I don't need it. And if He gave it to him, that means he needs it. So why should I be jealous? Emunah is the source of everything. David HaMelech says in Tehillim, Kol mitzvotecha emunah. God, if we could sum up the Torah in one word, it's emunah. The Torah was given to us, to the Jewish nation, just to build our emunah in Hashem. And how do we see this exactly in Daman? So Hashem says, Hineni mamtir lachem lechem min hashamayim. The pasuk, the first we started off with the class with. Hineni mamtir lachem lechem min hashamayim. By the way, Jewish people, know that it's me the one giving you the bread. It's not just falling from the heavens by itself. Hineni, God has to tell us beforehand, before He brings down the bread, by the way, it's me bringing down the bread. Oh, so now that I know that it's you bringing down the bread, so there's nothing you can do. And when am I bringing down the bread? 1 time a year? No. Debar yom beyomo. Fresh bread every single day. Which bakery has that? Fresh bread? Maybe they do. Fresh bread every single day. It's unbelievable. Never stale. And by the way, and if you leave it extra, it goes stale. Not even for a few hours it goes stale. Why? Because do you trust in God or not? Do you trust in Hashem to give you what you need and to give you what's owed to you or not? Will you run after the Torah or will you run after the man? And that's why it says right afterwards, when God will give you man every single day, Lema'an anasenu. I will test them. How is God testing us in the man? Well, number one, as we said, with the flavors. And number two, Hashem says, please do me a favor. Don't leave it over to tomorrow. Eat it. Don't leave it over to tomorrow. People didn't listen, left it over to tomorrow. What happened? Worms. Hashem says, please, do me a favor. If you need 3 pounds, take 3 pounds. Don't take 2. Don't take 4. Whatever you need, take. The person that needed 2 pounds, but he really needed 3 pounds, comes home, ends up being 3 pounds. The person that only needs 3, but he takes 4, he comes home, it's only 3 pounds. That's what Hashem is saying. Don't you trust that I'm the one giving you your sustenance? Don't you trust that I'm the one giving you the panasa every single day afresh? Fresh man, fresh panasa. Man equals panasa. Everybody knows. Yesterday you read Parashat Man. Man equals parnasa, sustenance. Every day Hashem gives us sustenance from new. We really see this in the in the beginning of the parasha. Not really the beginning, but in the story that happened before the man. We all know that this parasha is famous for the splitting of the sea. Right? Kiri'at Yam Suf. Right? Charleston Heston. But we have over here, what's his name again? What was Charleston? What was his name? Charlton Heston. All right, there we go. He has some sechut that we mentioned him in the class. There's a Zohar in Parashat Beshalach, Daf Nun Daled Amud Bet. The Zohar says, it says in the pasuk, and we read every single day, Az Yashir Moshe. And then Moshe will sing. Moshe will sing? Moshe sang. It should say, Michael, as Shar Moshe. And then Moshe sang. It says, and then Moshe will sing. So the Zohar says, Tanenan, we've learned. Kol barnash de amar shiratada bechol yoma. Every person that says this Shirat Hayam every single day, chaven ba, and has kavana, Zache lememra lezimna de'ateh, will merit to say it in the world to come. As Yashir will merit to say it in the world to come. And in his explanation, why? Deha'it ba'alma de'abar, ve'it ba'alma de'ateh. Because it says, as Yashir. As means, and there happened in the past. Yashir will happen. Oxymoron. Ve'it ba kishre mehamnuta, and it's all about emunah and God. Ve'it ba yomed de malka meshiha, and it talks about the coming of Mashiach. Where in Az Yashir, by the way, a riddle for you. Where in Az Yashir does it talk about the coming of Mashiach? Adonai yimloch le'olam ba'ed. What are they saying? God will rule forever and ever and ever now when the splitting of the sea. Don't they know that they still have a long way to go? But this is talking about la'atid labo. Adonai yimloch le'olam ba'ed when Mashiach comes. So that's the Gemara, that's the Zohar in Parashat Beshalach. I want to read you a Gemara Sanhedrin. Tanya. Amar Rabbi Meir, Sanhedrin, Tzadi Aleph Amud Bet. Tanya Amar Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir says, Minayin letihayat hametim min Torah. Give me a proof for the resurrection of the dead in the Torah. Don't give me midrash. Don't give me anything. I want in the Torah itself. You know, you have those people, show me in the Torah where it says there's going to be tahayat hametim. So he says, Rabbi Meir says, no problem. Shene'emar, Az Yashir Moshe ubnei Israel. And it will be that Moshe will sing the song. Shar lo ne'emar. It doesn't say he sang it. Ela yashir. Mikan letihayat hametim min Torah. From here we see that there is a resurrection of the dead, and the proof is in the pudding, in the verse of the Torah. Why do I bring you these pesukim? Because we have to understand what's so special about the splitting of the sea and saying this as Yashir every single day. The song of the sea splitting every single day. What's so special about the Shira? If anyone takes a look at the parasha, you see two verses on the surface, they look contradicting each other. One pasuk says, Vayabo'u b'nei Yisrael betoch hayam bayabasha. One pasuk says the Jews went in the water, in the land. And the other verse says, Ubnei Yisrael halechu bayabasha betoch hayam. The other pasuk says, which we say in Az Yashir, opposite. And the Jews went in the dry land, in the water. So the Kli Yakar asks this question. The Kli Yakar says, why the difference in language? He says, Nuchal lomar. Shehayu be'Israel kitot kitot alayam. There were many factions, many groups by the splitting of the sea. Miksatam sadikim, a handful of righteous people. This is his words. Miksatam ketane amana kenawah. And a handful of people that really didn't believe in God, like Noah, he says. He says Noah didn't believe in God 100%. How do we know? Shelo nichnas bateba. God tells him, Noah, a flood is coming. Noah, a flood is coming. Thank you. He doesn't go into Teba until the water comes and pushes him into Teba. And the Gemara calls Noah, he lacked emunah in Hashem. So the Kli Yakar says, V'nei tobim me'Yisrael, the righteous Jews, ba'u techef el hayam be'imsa'ito. We explained last night in the class that many people think that the sea split in one shot. That's it. Split. No. the Rabbeinu Bechayeh says, every step forward they did, every step forward they took, it split more and more. Now there was a group that saw the sea. And they believed in God. And they said, if Hashem's telling us to go, we go. And they went, and every step they went, the sea split. There's other ones that didn't go when the first group went. They only went when it finally split and it was dry land. So that's the difference between Ubnei Yisrael halachu bayabasha betoch hayam or bayam betoch hayabasha. Which is the higher level? Let me ask you a question. Which person is on a higher level? When a person walks in the water not knowing if it will split or not? Or when a person walks on dry land after it splits? Obviously, when a person walks in the water not knowing whether it will split or not. So the Kli Yakar says, that's the emunah you should have in God. Every day you're faced with waters. Every day you're faced with challenges. Now, what will you do? Will you trust in God and just throw yourself in the water and whatever's going to happen will happen? Hashem, I have full faith in you, full trust in you, and I know you'll split the sea for me. I know you'll get rid of all these problems for me. That's person number one. Person number two, it's very hard to believe in you, Hashem. Hashem, out of everything that you're doing to me right now, all the troubles you're giving me, all the headaches you're giving me, all the problems that I have in parnasa, in work, in paying the bills, in tuition, with my wife, with my children, and you want me, as we said earlier, to strive to go to class? No. How about this? How about you take care of my situation, and I'll take care of your situation? There's some people, they make a deal with God, right? As if it's, let's make a deal over here. You take care of me, and I'll take care of you. Where it really should be, I'll take care of you, Hashem, because I know you'll take care of me. So that's a difference. So the question is, which group do you belong to? Do you belong in the group that will jump in the water? As they say, I'll jump in the water for you, whatever you want. Well, I don't know whether it's going to split or not, but I have full emunah in you. And when you do, what happens? You jump in the water, bayam, and then it becomes bayabasha. Or God forbid, will you belong to the first group that doesn't jump in the water, that only jumps after it's dry land? There's a sefer called Baharta B'Hayim. Baharta B'Hayim says, people have the misconception to think that if I go and learn Torah, that will take away time from my parnasa. He says, just the opposite we see. What does Hashem tell Yehoshua bin Nun on the first day of him taking the responsibility of leading the Jewish people? He says, Lo yamush sefer haTorah hazeh mipicha ve'agita bo yomam v'layla. This book that I'm giving you, which is the Torah, always learn it. Never be far away from it. And then what does the pasuk say right after? Ki az tasliach et derachecha ve'az taskil. And only after you learn Torah, then you will be successful in your business. Notice how God doesn't say, you'll be successful in your business, and then when you have time to learn, then you go learn. No, it doesn't work like that with Hashem. Hashem says, first do what I want, and then I'll do what you want. However, what group do you belong to? Do you belong to the group Bashamayim Mimma'al? Or do you belong to the group Ba'az Mitaha? Do you belong to the group that strives to elevate themselves? Or do you belong to the group that always Shaykhut the Aretz? I'm always running after this world. What I could get from this world. The Todot Yaakov Yosef says in Parashat Vayishlach. So Todot Yaakov Yosef was the grandson of the Baal Shem Tov. And he says, Shama'ati mimori. I heard from my Rebbe, which is the Baal Shem Tov. Ki'anyan galut Mitzrayim. You know what the exile of Egypt was? Really what it was deep down? Hayash haser mehem hada'at. They had no intellect. Intellect in what? Sheyad'u le'achriya sheyesh borei ehad. They were so stooped in the sin of Mitzrayim. Not God forbid that they themselves performed sins, but it was such a place filled with promiscuity and immorality that they couldn't come to this realization that God is here with me right now. Hashem is here right now in Mitzrayim, right here. How do we know, by the way, that God is even with them in Mitzrayim? Because who killed the firstborn? Hashem. It wasn't the angel of death. Why not the angel of death? Because the rabbis say that even if the angel of death would have went down to Misraim, he would have got defiled from all the promiscuity and immorality that there was, from all the tum'ah. So it means only Hashem could be there. It's only God that could be with you in your time. Nobody else. But the problem is they didn't realize that God is with me even now. Ad sheba Moshe Rabbeinu b'chinat hada'at, till Moshe Rabbeinu came, and Moshe Rabbeinu is the da'at, he's the intellect of all the Jews, right? The Torah that we have is called Torat Moshe, the Torah which has intellect, which gives intellect to the Jewish person, is called after Moshe Rabbeinu because he's the one who gave it to us. ועל ידי הניסים שעשה נתפרסם בעולם שיש בורא אחד המחדש תמיד. Then they realized that it was really God taking care of us. It was really God. In all the 210 years of labor in Egypt, it was God taking care of us the whole time. But we needed Moshe Rabbeinu to do it for us. And that's exactly why the Pasuk says, Az Yashir Moshe Ubnei Yisrael. You need someone like Moshe to give you the emunah to sing La'atid Labo. So what is the Zohar telling us in the Gemara that we saw about the resurrection of the dead in the world to come? If you have kavanah in this world, and believe that God is with me no matter what, He takes care of me, He provides for me, Who will never let me go, then that alone will bring you to keep all the mitzvot. As we explained, you won't be jealous, you'll believe in God, it's easier for you to do all the mitzvot. And that will bring you Yemei Olam Haba. And that will bring you to the world to come. And in that world to come, you will finally sing the ultimate song of redemption. Rabbi Isaac Sher, Yitzhak Isaac Sher, in his Sefer Leket Sihot Musar, I say it because today was his yahrzeit, Yot Shebat. He says, many people think that the Jews, all they did was complain. People think, how can they complain? You see all the miracles happening to you. You see the manna falling down from Shamayim. You see the huge quail coming to give you meat. And all you do is complain. And they come to Moshe Rabbeinu and they say, Moshe, hey, we're hungry. We're thirsty. Give us food. Give us drink. What does Moshe Rabbeinu say? Lo aleinu tenotechem ki al Hashem. Don't complain to me. Complain to God. So what is Moshe telling them? Good, complain, but I'm the wrong person to complain to. Complain to God? No. So he says something fascinating. He says, you're telling me, you think that I could provide you? I can provide you anything. You know who's the ultimate provider? It's God that provides. He says, Lama atem mitpalelim elai umitnolelim elai. Why are you coming to complain to me and to beg me for food and drink? You want? Go to the ultimate source. Go to the source that has everything. What are you going to the middleman for? Go straight to the source. So really, in reality, they weren't complaining, Michael. The whole time in the desert, they weren't complaining. They were just trying to find a way how to connect to God. But the problem is they didn't know how to connect. The only way it came out as a complaint. But it wasn't really a complaint. On the surface, it looks like a complaint. But it's not a complaint. It's just the way, I don't know how to build my emunah. I don't know how to build myself in connecting to God, realizing that it's God giving me everything. And we needed Moshe Rabbeinu, that's the da'at, as we explained, to tell us, don't complain to me. Don't pray to me. Don't ask me. Whatever you want, it's God. He took you out of Egypt. He performed the 10 miracles. He gave you everything in the Yam Suf. He split the sea for you. So complain to Him. Not complain in the sense of complaining, but go talk to Him whatever you need. And we'll end off with this beautiful story. If we have time for another one, or late. There was a person that he was looking for a job and he couldn't find anything. Wherever he went, he was underqualified, overqualified. Everybody gives him different excuses. Interviews didn't go well. So finally he says, you know what? I work as a custodian, a janitor. What could be wrong? At least I get a salary. At least I get a paycheck. What could be wrong with that? So he goes, he dresses up fancy, nice tie, and nice suit and a tie. And he takes his resume. He goes to one of the high-line buildings in the city. And the person sees him and says, oh, I'm very impressed by your work. You do know it's a janitorial position, right? You know it's a custodian. You know, nothing fancy. So I understand, but we have to work for Parnassah. We have to make a living. He says, no problem. I like you. I want to hire you. Let me speak to the other people. It's always that excuse, right? Let me speak to the other people in my office, right? Let me speak to my other people in the office, and I'll email you. So he says, I don't have an email address. So this person says, I don't have an email address. You don't have an email address? You don't have any? Who doesn't have an email address? I'm sorry. Over here, we're very high line. We're very high tech. We do everything via email. Even to tell you to go buy new toilet paper, it's sent you an email. If you don't have email, sorry, we can't hire you. Now, he really has no option right now. I mean, if he can't get a janitorial job, what else is left? He said, what am I going to do with the few bucks that he had? He bought some watermelon, he cut it up, he started selling it slowly. From watermelons, it became cantaloupe. He opened a fruit store. And slowly but surely, day after day, he became wealthy. He had another store and another store. He was able to sell the stores, buy real estate. He finally sat down at his job, in his office, behind his desk, and relaxed. One day, he has an opportunity to make a lot of money. In walks a buyer, and he says, I see everything going on with you. I heard your story. I heard, your success story from rags to riches. I'm really fascinated by you. I want to buy some, how it works in real estate is beyond me, but I want to buy some of your lands. I want to invest. He says, okay, no problem. He says, but let's keep in touch via email. He says, I'm sorry, I don't have an email address. He says, you don't have an email address? You know how much better you would do if you had an email address? So he looks over to me and he says, if I had an email address, I would be a janitor. You understand? Meaning, you don't have an email address. You don't have a smartphone. It's not the smartphone. It's not the email address. It's not the connections. It's the one sitting above and running the show for you. It's the one sitting above and taking care of you and watching you. It's him. You think your life would be so much better if I had this or I had this. Bashamayim mimma'al. Look what you could strive to be. Don't waste your time on, excuse me for saying it, on stupidity, on silliness. People run after things so materialistic, it's beyond me how they do it. Why don't you run with the time that you have, with the knowledge that you have, with the intellect that you have? Run after greater things. You as a Jew, and you should know better, run after greater things. Where is another mitzvah I could do? Again, it's your choice. You could be like a Moshe Rabbeinu, or you could be like a Am Yisrael. Arab Rabin Am Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu is running after mitzvot, running after the coffin, carrying the coffin, because he knows, if I don't have the money right now to miss, I don't need the money right now. How will I get it later? Who knows? Maybe. If I don't need it, I won't get it. If I need it, I'll get it. Am Yisrael, they said, oh, we need it. What happened after we need it? They lost it all. Because it's not you knowing what's the best for you. It's God knowing what's the best for you. And, Be'ezat Hashem, we will, there's more, but Be'ezat Hashem, we will see each other, God willing, if Hashem gives us another shot to be together. Next Wednesday night, Avenue S, the corner of East 9th, Har Lebanon. Thank you to everyone that comes first and foremost. To Torah Anytime viewers and listeners. J-Root viewers and listeners. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.